Thanks for clicking play, welcome to the video. I'm still broke, I still enjoy making things out of wood, still have no idea what I'm doing, and I still need views. So in today's video, we're gonna make 3 easy Christmas presents out of pallet wood, so it won't cost you a thing. Well, if you've already got the stuff. Let's get into the first one.
So I've seen these things online, I think they look really cool, but I've got no idea how they work. So we're gonna make an ugly test one to start with, and then maybe we'll make a nicer one. We'll see how it goes. But first we need a piece of pallet wood like that, and then we also need a bottle of wine. Let's go. Well, that didn't work. Let's try a smaller, lower hole, something like that. Yeah. This is way more complicated than I was expecting. Just when I thought I'd solved it, I cut the excess away and then it stopped working. And then I used the previous hole that wasn't working, cut the excess away, and that started working. So there is obviously some counterbalance with the wood at the top going on, but I don't know what type of maths to use to figure out where to put the holes. I'm gonna skip to me figuring this one out because it could take a while. Right, that took a lot longer than I expected, but after a lot of testing and a lot of cutting, a lot of drilling, we've got the perfect sizes. So here we go, size number 1. 45-degree cut at the end. This is a 22mm piece of crate. It is 21 centimeters from the very edge there to the very edge there, and I cut the hole directly at 15 centimeters, so that's 15 centimeters in the middle. But I thought that was quite small, so I wanted to make a bigger one. Again, this one's 22mm thick crate wood, but this time we've gone for a 30-degree angle. This means the overall length of this piece is a lot longer. This one's 30 centimeters. As you can see, I've drilled a few test holes, but in the end, 18mm as dead center of the hole seemed to be the one that worked best. So if you're having a go at this, you could sand it down, finish it up, stop right there if you wanted to. But I kicked my workbench whilst one of them was balancing and it wobbled and nearly fell, so I wanted to make it more stable. So I decided to double up on the thickness. This one is cut at a 45-degree angle. It is 23 centimeters from that edge to that edge right there. And then the center of the hole was drilled at 15 centimeters. Same thickness as crate wood again. This one's slightly longer because it is a 30-degree cut. This one from edge to edge is 30 centimeters long, and then we have drilled the hole in the center directly at 19 centimeters. I screwed these two together very badly just for testing, but this is going to be one of my finished products. So I think we're going to time lapse into me sanding and gluing and finishing and making it look all pretty and stuff. Let's get into it. Woo! We're going to move on to present number 2, and for that we're going to need a wine bottle again. You can see a pattern forming here. was so close to getting something right first time, but as you saw in the video, one of the glasses was actually touching the floor. That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be raised up, risen up, one of those. Anyway, I'm going to try and figure this out. So that was quite an easy fix. This first test one I did, the chamfered edge I put in there was just way too deep, so it was dropping too low and the glasses were touching the floor. So on this one, it's not as deep, sat nice and perfect, nice and even. All I need to do now is finish this and make it look pretty, but I'm going to do that later. Really shouldn't have thrown that, but maybe it was weak and that's why it broke. That does mean that this one's ruined and I'm gonna have to make another one. Third item is going to be beer mats. Yes, I've done beer mats before, but that was kind of different. These ones are going to be super simple, super easy, but kind of stylish. I've got this idea. We're going to get to it and see how it turns out.
I gave these a quick coat of oak satin varnish and I didn't like the way they turned out, so sanded them all back, started again. After a quick pass with a blowtorch, they looked a lot cooler and I was happy with how they turned out. For the next set, I wanted it to look a little different, so I decided to experiment a bit.
Two sets of coasters done, but I've just had an idea I want to experiment with, which is using pallet wood and combining it with the idea I had with my first set of beer mats, which you can see up in the top right hand corner, and just see how it turns out. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. Now they're all dried, ready for cutting and flattening off. This is actually the 7th set of coasters I've made so far, and I'm probably going to make a few more to list on my Etsy store as well. My workbench is about 20 years old and it's very uneven, so there've been a few wonky edges here and there. So to make life easier, quicker and more consistent, I've made a couple of jigs. Not the Irish type. God, that's going to be lame. I've got some offcuts, which obviously I'm not going to waste, so I'm going to make a wine stand to match this set of beer mats that I've just done.
The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how.
This project I definitely bit off a bit more than I can chew. There's various reasons for that, and I will tell you about that in a little bit. But first, I'm going to show you how they turned out.
Blue, the feeling behind my eyes. You stood out 'cause you were in red.
First we have the 30-degree angle wine stand. It's a bit dusty in this video because my workshop was dusty, but the blowtorch really brought out the grain and made it look super cool. Even though the end bits look like they're supposed to be rough, they are super smooth because I blasted it with a sander so many times. I felt the 45-degree angle wine stand looked a bit too thin after I trimmed it down, but it still looks kind of cool. I didn't give this one a second coat of flames after sanding, and that's why it looks a bit lighter, and I liked that it looked a bit different from the other one. The holes on both of these were quite tricky to sand, and they were very tricky to blowtorch, so I've got to find a better way of doing that. And when I get time to make some more, I'm probably going to see if I can get a thinner drill bit so the wine bottle stands in a bit more securely. Next, the glass holders. Again, the flame made the grain come out, looks awesome, and it's super smooth. You'd never be able to tell it's pallet wood. Definitely lots of improvements to be made here. I could have cut the glass notches a bit straighter, and these sections where the glasses slide in were super tricky when I was using the blowtorch. They got kind of black, and I'm not sure if I like that, but I think it adds to the effect. I don't know. First set of coasters, super simple. I think they look cool. The only improvement I'd make is maybe get some rubber feet for the base so they kind of stand up proud and don't move around. But I do really love the fact that the edges look rough, but they're super smooth. Like, I'm so impressed they went that smooth that I want to do a project where I layer the edges up and make something out of it somehow. I don't know. There was little bits of bark still on it, but I just thought it looked cool, so I left it. I also added a slightly beveled edge, as you can see, to the top layer, and yeah, I think it makes it look even neater. Second set of coasters, these are the ones where I've put plywood down the middle at an angle just to make it look a little bit different and more interesting. I only gave this one a single pass with a blowtorch like I did with the 45-degree wine stand, so it looked a little bit lighter just to see how it'd turn out, and it looks kind of good. I added a bit more of a beveled edge, that's why it looks white round the corners, which again, I liked the look of, so I just left it. Everything in this video got coated with walnut satin varnish, because that's all I had and I wasn't spending money. Now, the leftovers, scrap wood, afterthought, the ones I didn't even actually think were going to work, ended up being the best by far. I was calling this one the Patchwork set because that's how it kind of looks. It just looks so interesting with all the tiny little bits. It looks like it should be rough, it's super smooth again, 400 grit sandpaper. These were a lot more work, sticking it, clamping it, sawing it, sticking it together again, but they just turned out so amazing. On the wine stand, I actually ran out of squares, so at the very bottom you can see there's some thin strips, but again, it just makes it look more interesting that it's slightly different. I do think I should have done something different with the back, because the front looks so good, the back kind of looks boring, but you don't see it, so maybe it's okay. This set turned out so good, I didn't actually want to give it away, but it was Christmas, so I had to. I can always make some more.
I was really happy with the way they turned out. I thought they looked really cool. They were way better than I was expecting they were going to be. So why was it such a pain? Like with all the stuff I've been filming, I'm learning as I actually do it, which means there's a lot of trial and error as I'm actually filming, which most of the time is fine. I can do it at my own pace, and if I mess it up, I just won't post the video, will I? But this time, these were actually Christmas presents that I had to get done within a specific amount of time, and I had multiple things on the go. So I was coming home from work almost every night and going straight to my workshop for 3 or 4 hours at a time. So that meant I was rushing things a bit more than usual. That meant I was making mistakes, and if I had to start from scratch, a lot of them, it meant waiting until something glued till the next day to start all over again. And I was making 3 things in one video, which I really shouldn't have done when I'm just learning this stuff. So the whole thing took way longer than expected. I was hoping to get this video out before Christmas because that would be the optimal time for views. Obviously that didn't happen. Maybe it'll help someone next year, who knows, it's done with now. And whilst I was in the process and not super stressed, I decided I was going to do a fancier version of those 3 videos, so I started on that at the same time. And in the end, that's what sent me over the edge really. But I managed to finish everything, so you'll see the fancier version of those in the next video. That's this one done for now. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. As usual, any tips, questions or suggestions, stick them in the comments below. And yeah, another video coming out soon, hopefully. See ya!